Hello and welcome to the Wrestling Corner, episode 29. It's been a bloody big, busy week in wrestling. We've had irregular shows. We've had shows on the right days. We've had the big pay-per-views. We've got pay-per-views coming up. So we'll have predictions for that today because we've already got 4 matches announced for Payback this Sunday. But today we'll be talking about the AEW episode that was on the Saturday also because of the NBA playoffs. We're talking about NXT. We'll talk about NXT TakeOver. And obviously the big Summer Slam pay-per-view. But as always, job on my co-host Simon. How are you today?
Doing all right. There's been a lot going on, maybe a little bit too much. I'm a bit burnt out, but SummerSlam was really good.
It was great. I've got a question though. Did you win your cricket matches this weekend?
So on the Saturday, yes, quite comfortably. On
Easy.
the Sunday, no. So,
Did you get any runs? I don't know much about cricket. I know that you run and hit and bowl.
I didn't bat the first game, and in the second, I scored a solid 7 not out. So
That's safe. That's
it's
consistent.
doable.
Some would say. But because we've got so much to talk about, we'll go straight into. We're actually starting on Saturday. Normally we go Wednesdays, then Fridays, Sundays, and then Mondays. But we're going to do it a bit differently. We'll go straight to Saturday with AEW. Show opened up with FTR versus the Private Party. Obviously, everything on Twitter was FTR talking about no flips, no fists. Private Party were going, look at what we managed to do with it. And it was really a battle of two different tag teams. FTR come out and Tully Blanchard was wearing an FTR jacket on ringside, and I think Ryan Satin tweeted just saying, "I'm guessing Tully's managing FTR." Tony Khan replied, "You'd guess correctly." So I think that's a good managing decision. I think it's Sean Spears also keeps on tweeting a lot of stuff saying, "Just you wait, have a bit of patience and stuff like that." So maybe FTR, Sean and Tully. I'm all for it, but FTR do pick up the win against Private Party. Probably the correct result. I think Private Party, unfortunately, are lower down the card than the FTR. But it was a very good back and forth match, I'd say.
Yeah, all right. It's AEW splits opinion with some people. Some people just enjoy it for the consistency of what it is, and others just think it's a bit middling.
Yeah.
And apart from the main event for this episode, I didn't think it was that good, and I was more looking forward to TakeOver, to be honest. But again, it's the story of AEW. It was good. It was fine.
It wasn't a bad show. I think one thing that really didn't help was it was on a Saturday, which means it was going up against TakeOver.
Yeah.
Not in terms of obviously TV, it's on free TV, but people will be like, especially in England, people will be watching TakeOver over than AEW just because of how easy it is to watch live and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, also we're gonna have a couple more weeks of this. AEW they're on Thursday next, I think.
Yeah, they are.
So we'll see.
Yeah, that means and I can't watch either AEW or NXT on Friday this week, so I've got to wait till Saturday night, and I'm going to find out everything that's happened. I'm really not looking forward to just like this week.
Stay off Twitter for
a
full day.
Yeah, I guess that's the simple answer.
Yeah. Then we got another small little John Mox promo. I was going to split MJF's head open with the paradigm shift. But then we had a little MJF promo wearing a neck brace, just being his typical MJF self. Just saying, sign the contract, John, sign everything. We're going to sue your ass, stuff like that. Typical MJF. The Lucha Brothers and the Butcher and the Blade vs Jurassic Express and the Natural Nightmares. What happened here?
They did lots of wrestling, and it was fun. Yeah, a team won, I think. Oh, it was the faces, because then, it was. Didn't Penta push? Oh, have you not seen this?
No, I've only caught certain bits of the show.
I thought you just couldn't remember. Right, so yeah, at the end, there were Dissension and Pentagon pushed the Blade, and the Blade got rolled up, and then Eddie Kingston came out and was like, "You lot need to get on the same page." Brought them in for a team huddle, and and then as they were all in for the huddle, he sort of sat up and just looked at the camera and winked.
Eddie Kingston is great.
Like they think gonna last. So they're all on the same page, but yeah, Eddie Kingston in. It's not permanent.
Eddie Kingston is great. I do really like him. From what I haven't seen much of him, but what I've seen from him, I like him quite a bit. Early in the day, we saw Cameron Cook out with Britt Baker, Reba, and Penelope. Penelope Ford and Kip Sabian. Baker won Kip and Penelope at the Dangerous Exchange in saliva as Kip and Penelope kiss each other. Baker says she could help because she's a dentist and a role model. She's willing to give them her couple special discount, free dental care for 1 year. All you have to do is take care of Big Swole, basically. So it's going to be a handicap match. Trying to join thingy. So I think it's going to be handicap Penelope, Britt, Reba versus Big Swole. I'm guessing Big Swole will end up getting some backup, probably Nicole Savoy, which I think who else can really back up her? No, that's all I can think of.
Yeah, pretty much.
A little promo from Orange Cassidy. And basically, a match was announced. I think it's for next week. For All Out. It's a Mimosa Mayhem match. What will happen when 80 gallons of 100% pure orange juice is mixed at ringside with 500 cases of a little bit of the bubbler, and the only way to win is by pinfall submission or being thrown into a tank of straight mimosa? You have to see it to believe it. On September the 5th at All Out, do you accept the challenge Jericho vs. Cassidy 3 in a Mimosa Mayhem? What?
Is this All Out?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no. But I think the show might need some relief. Do you know, some comedic, comedic relief, but a bit of light-hearted match.
I guess there's always one, but I don't know.
When is All Out? Is it like the end of August? September the 5th. What match? So you've actually got a really, you know what? It will be a good break because you've got Moxley and Jeff, Kenny and Hangman versus two other people. It's not been announced yet. Hikaru Shida versus Thunder Rosa, and then Britt Baker versus to be announced. So you're going to have some relatively serious matches in there. So I suppose you've got a bit of lightheartedness with the Jericho Cassidy match.
Yeah, it's shaping up to be all right.
Then you had the Elite versus Alex Reynolds, John Silver, and Alan Angels. This match was more about Kenny Omega. So Kenny and the Bucks hitting Undertaker. Kenny filling up with a one winged angel on Angel for the victory. And then Kenny returned to the ring with a metal chair, going to powerbomb Angels on the chair. Matt Jackson moved it. And then, so Kenny just completely lost it. Young Bucks managed to talk with some sense. It's one of the slowest burning views in AEW because they've actually made it feel like who is actually going to turn in that tag team. Because for the longest time, we thought Hangman Page, he's drinking all the time and he's not really. But then he was still wrestling, trying to protect Kenny. Whereas Kenny's just having these moments of a blind fits of rage, as you say, which I really like.
Yeah, I don't know. I do like the Kenny Omega sort of descent into evil.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah. Then we had a backstage thing. FTR and Tully announced that on a special Thursday night Dynamite Gauntlet tag team match to determine who will face Kenny Hangman. So it's the top 4 ranked team. So it's Natural Nightmares against the Young Bucks. Whoever wins will go against the Best Friends. Whoever wins that will go against FTR. So FTR have got the best chance because they are the number 1 ranked team. Darby Allin defeated Will Hobbs quite comfortably. Taz stands up from the broadcast and goes, I've got a little surprise here for Darby. And we have a new member of Team Taz. I want you to meet him right now, Darby. And guess what? His name is Darby also, and he's bigger than you and better looking you. Ricky Starks comes out, dressed Darby Allin, because a very lovely promo. I enjoyed it. Brian Cage attacks him from behind. Starks calls Darby drunk. Darby's practically laid out in the ring. Starks just pulls up Darby's head and just goes, look at me when I'm talking to you. Hits a skateboard into Darby's ribs. Starks followed up with a coffin drop of his own onto Darby. I like this dude.
Oh, it was a very WWE segment though, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah,
I was not a fan.
Yeah. I think I'm so used to it now with WWE that when I see it on AEW, it don't bother me.
I'm looking forward to the match. I think there'll be a really good pairing. It was just this segment just wasn't it.
Yeah. Sammy Guevara came out to do his typical shtick with the poster boards and the cards. The fan zone was. He kept revealing and said Matt Hardy Sammy was about to get deleted. So obviously Matt Hardy interfered with the cards. Hardy comes out, boom, steel chair, hits him with the steel chair and throws him down the ramp onto the ring announcer's table, getting revenge. For 2 weeks ago, yeah. AEW Women's World Champion Thunder Rosa appeared on Dynamite. If you don't mean let me introduce myself, Thunder Rosa, Women's World Champion from the NWA. I came here to bring the women's division to the next level to actually put it on the map and get some respect that we deserve. So on the pay-per-view, I don't come here for just scraps. I come for your championship, Shida. So at All Out Shida, I have a request. I'm here for this championship and nothing else. So they've got a couple of weeks now to build some hype. No, they don't. They have a week.
Yeah. Is it one show before? No, they've got 2 weeks on before.
Yeah, they've got 2 weeks.
Yeah.
One more show though, because the pay per view is it pay per view? Yeah, it's on pay per view. It's on Saturday, so next Saturday.
Yeah.
Then you had the finals of the Women's Tag Team Cup tournament, the Deadly Draw. Nightmare Sisters, Brandy Rhodes and Ella versus Everlise and Diamante. Vida Scott came out, and she was doing commentary with Shal Guerrero as the special guest ring announcer. Everlise picks up the win.
Yeah, good. I was happy they won.
I think it's a great result.
I really like Diamante. I think Diamante.
Same.
There's
something about her.
Yeah, she's got sort of aggressive, aggressive charisma that doesn't feel forced.
Yes.
It just feels natural. Yeah, I can't quite put my finger on it, but as long as it wasn't the natural nightmares. They don't work, do they? They're such an odd fall.
Yeah. I understand sort of the Goldust, just because I think Goldust is sort of trying to mentor them.
Goldust?
Sorry, Dustin. And then, but QT Marshall, I know, is probably in the same situation. I know he owns a wrestling academy.
Yeah, I think I just struggle to look past the fact that Ali was just all of a sudden not the bunny anymore.
Yeah, and she
turns out she can wrestle. And it's like her and Brandy don't get on, but yet they still team pretty effectively. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very short-lived. Especially what happened as the main event. 3 minutes, I think it took. It didn't take long. It didn't take long at all. It was the TNT Championship match. The American Nightmare Cody with Arn Anderson defended his championship against the Exalted One of the Dark Order, Brody Lee. So Cody gets a quick start, kicking him into the turnbuckles. Then all of a sudden, Brody just gets everything, tops over the top rope to the arena floor, into the guardrail, still keeps on going, back to the thing, big boot, shoulders, back half and back suplex, then a German release suplex, 2 thrust kicks. Cody nearly didn't kick out of that. 2 double power bombs, and then he just hits the discus lariat thinking it's fine. It's a typical Cody thing. He kicks out, and then he just doesn't kick out. So I
thought it was done after he'd hit the lariat.
I just presumed it was just going to be a typical Cody thing.
No. I always thought
we had the offense, but
Rosie Lee were going to win, and I don't usually pay attention to the first few minutes of matches. But at the point when I realised, hang on, Cody's not had a single bit of offense, I was like,
I thought it was going to be a typical Cody thing. Is he kicks out the thing and then he dominates the rest of the match. And then Brodley at the end just gets hits like 3 discus lariats and pins Cody. But what a way to push your TNT champion, having decimated Cody, who had these incredible TNT Open challenges.
It was the end that was the most powerful bit.
Yeah, so Brody Lee stand up. Tony Khan is interviewing. Brody Lee's cutting a great thing saying, "It was you who created me, yet you brought me down." As Cody is laid not moving in the ring. They finally put Cody on a stretcher. They're wheeling him up the ramp. And then all of a sudden, you never see the Dark Order, you just see Brody Lee cutting a promo. And then the camera sort of spins to the top of the ramp, gets to Cody, and you just see the Dark Order surround him. And they don't do anything. They then just kick, I think they kick on, punch on, then they have him held up. Brody Lee gut punches him, slaps him. They drag Cody over. Brody Lee just pushes him off the thing, attacks Cody. Cody's just laid out. He's still laying into him. A lot of the Dark Order go backstage. They get QT Marshall and Dustin Rhodes, beat them up, lay them out on top of the ramp, and then Brody goes, stand in a line. They all start standing in line. You hear Brandy Rose come out, just stand over Cody. Anna Jay then comes out for the Dark Order, puts her in a sleeper. Brody then tells her to stop. They all stand up. The Dark Order are running AEW.
Yeah, it was the imagery of it, wasn't it? It was just them standing over all of the Nightmare family, just
the sort of the group that have dominated it, not dominated AEW, but Cody's been such a pivotal part of the TNT and the show. The Nightmare the Nightmare family, obviously, to do with the women's championship, fucking shut up, women's tag team tournament. There we go, and sort of Dustin and QT all together, and then for Dark Order to just destroy him so convincingly. Then he does throw the old TNT broken belt, and yeah, perfect ending for me.
Yeah, it was spot on.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Again, you said it earlier. It was just an episode of a good episode of AEW. I don't think there's ever been like one where you've gone, that's absolutely shocking, but you've never gone. In the past couple of weeks, that was an amazing from start to finish. I think the ending for AEW really helped it. But yeah, your thoughts?
Yeah, the average episode itself was pretty much a standard Dynamite, and then the main event just kicked it into gear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Completely.
I enjoyed it. The main event made the show for me, in my opinion. But we'll move on to all the WWE stuff now, because there's been a lot. Have you watched NXT this week?
Yes.
So we'll go with NXT.
Do we need to cover it?
We'll do it quick, because we've got so much. Johnny Gargano defeated Ridge Holland. I'm still not happy about it. I had Ridge Holland to go all the way. I thought he was gonna defy the odds. He had a great showing.
Scary,
I know you. Did you say last week, or you definitely put in the chat? There was apparently a horrible botch.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Well, saw it.
I don't really think it was really anyone's fault massively. Obviously, you know more
about. I don't know. I'm not sure.
You obviously know more about in-ring than me, so.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether Johnny thought it. To me, it looked like Johnny thought Ridge Holland was going to leapfrog, and instead he just caught it. I don't know, but he didn't get all the way around. But I really hope it doesn't reflect badly on Ridge Holland.
I don't think it will.
That's the main thing.
The drop was absolutely horrible. It just lands basically on the top of his neck, but I like that they used it into the angle of the match, in fairness. Like, they came back from advert break, so it wasn't like the match had an awkward cut. It came back from advert break and said, this is what happened during the break. And then they used it. Gargano picks up the win after a Candice distraction. I think it was the correct result, because Gargano, I think, should have beat Ridge, but I think Ridge, if you ignore the botch, he still had a really good showing.
Yeah,
for his second big match.
He could do with picking up a win.
Yeah, I think this is where you start picking up wins from now. Fair play, you've had your 2 takeover qualifiers and stuff like that, so you can sort of let off the no wins. Now, if you start picking up wins, I think you could be a decent mid-card star.
Mm-hmm.
Dakota Kai defeated Jessica Meyer. Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Dakota
Kai is good.
Dakota Kai is good, but it was just a squash match, really. And then she called out Io Shirai and then attacked her, basically, with Raquel Gonzalez, who made a return. emerged from the shadows to floor Io Shirai. Legado del Fantasma defeated Isaiah, Swerve Scott, and Breezango.
Yep, love it.
Yeah, I really like Legado del Fantasma.
They're good, aren't they?
Yeah, they're very good.
There's some people who aren't on board, and maybe that's because they don't watch 205 Live, but yeah, they're quality. Raul
They are.
Mendoza's the star. No, he is. No, obviously Santos Escobar's the star, but Raul Mendoza he's been in the shadows for too long.
Yeah,
Like,
remember
he
when he
got
was in the
eliminated in the
Cruiserweight
first.
Classic?
He got eliminated in the first round of the Cruiserweight Classic 4 years ago, and
And he's
only
always
now
still been. But I think
he's starting to get his run. So
it's the right gimmick, and I hope that they don't get ruined.
I don't think they will.
Yeah,
I've got full confidence.
Yeah, Adam Cole and Pat McAfee shared a heated conversation. So Adam Cole and the Era come out, and then Pat McAfee comes out with his boys. We had former Super Bowl champion AJ Hawk, a former Indianapolis Colts teammate Darius Butler, and the other guy, which I think is just his mate from the podcast. And Pat McAfee started cutting a really good promo, saying, Adam, you look like an amateur with that. When I hit that devastating punch 2 weeks ago, I've single-handedly dismantled security, keeping them separated. Adam Cole basically just went off. So he took out the security. Pat McAfee just didn't do anything. He sat back. And Cole just went into the face of Pat McAfee saying, he didn't touch him and said, I'm going to wait till takeover, but I will end you. You have disrespected stuff like that. It was just a very nice promo. And I think most people, we'll do some takeover next, but most people probably weren't expecting the match to be.
Skim over Impact in my shows before we go on in depth into things.
Yeah, that's fine. But I don't think people were expecting Pat to have as good of a match as he did.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Pat McAfee match. I will admit.
Yeah, we'll talk about a thing. Rhea Ripley and Shotzi Blackheart defeated Mercedes Martinez and Aaliyah. I sort of like this because it keeps Mercedes Martinez doesn't look weak, but he still gets Rhea and Shotzi a win. Obviously, hit the powerbomb on the concrete to sort of take out Mercedes Martinez out of the match. Then Aaliyah taking the pin. Fair enough. Yes, there's not really much to say about that feud.
Yeah, I was a bit half watching it.
And then Velveteen Dream defeated Finn Balor to qualify. Obviously, Velveteen Dream is, if you haven't seen the Twitter stuff, hashtag Fire Velveteen Dream got trending. But yeah, he picks up the win. Basically, everyone came out in this match that were in the match to sort of do the typical thing of when there's a ladder match. Of all of them coming out ready for it. Thatcher came out and ambushed Balor, sort of, which allowed Dream.
Cameron Grimes sitting on top of the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the moon.
To the moon. But yeah, I liked it. It gave Dream the win, but Balor didn't seem weak because he'd been attacked by Thatcher. And it created another match for TakeOver. This show is just all about build for me.
Yeah. It was. When Dream got the pinfall, I was a bit like,
oh no. But yeah. Do you want to talk about your SmackDown?
Yeah, go on.
Not your SmackDown.
Impact.
Your Impact.
Yeah, it was Emergence, so it was just a night of just good wrestling with not many angles. So I'll skim through it. TJP versus Rohit Raju versus Chris Bay. Rapid triple threat match, and in the closing stages, Rohit Raju betrayed Chris Bay, hit a double stomp and won the match. What? Rohit Raju? What?
I don't.
Yeah, basically, no one understands why Chris Bay's lost the title because Chris Bay's awesome, and not that Rohit Raju isn't, but Chris Bay's had the title for a month. Yeah, as it says here, it feels like a very backward step.
Yeah.
We'll see where it goes. Trey Miguel versus Moose for the TNA Championship.
Moose.
No, it's Mr. He ain't no moosing anymore.
It's always still Moose to me.
Right. Well, Trey Miguel's just some people call him Rick Trey because he's just very similar. But yeah, it was just Basically, the story was that Moose thought that he'd signed the contract for a match with Suicide, and then after he'd put pen to paper, Suicide unmasked, and it was Trey Miguel.
Oh, right.
So that was that. But Moose got the win with the spear, and then afterwards, Moose celebrates. EC3 comes from out of nowhere, hits an inverted DDT, and nicks the TNA Championship.
Yeah,
So,
how's EC3 going on Impact so far?
he's all right. That was his first sort of real appearance in ring. He's not had a match yet.
Ah, right.
This is his first. He's been sort of doing video packages that appear as holograms, just sort of haunting Moose in like
Cool.
corridors and stuff.
Cool.
That'd been quite good.
It's very EC3. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Trey Miguel didn't looked a bit of a third wheel. But there you go. The Good Brothers versus Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. Oh, I watched because I bought Bound for Glory, which means that I got
Did
enough.
you eventually get it?
I ended up paying for it, but it meant that I got enough fight credits to watch a free show. So I chose to watch Talk and Chopper Mania.
Okay.
I don't get it. I thought it was crap.
Yeah, it's a very
None of-
wacky. I
I know
haven't
that-
watched it, but I've seen
I know
highlights.
that's the point, but none of the jokes landed. I was not impressed.
Yeah.
Good Brothers versus Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. The best bit about it was Johnny Swinger on that show.
For God's sake.
He was there.
He was there.
It's just Carl Anderson and the big LG unload weeks of frustration, and eventually they pick up the win with the Magic Killer on Ace Austin. I really like Ace Austin, but you wouldn't have the Good Brothers get beat. They've got to be going for the tag titles relatively soon, I'd have thought.
Yeah.
But I'd like Ace Austin's not been picking up too many wins. Have you ever seen anything of Ace Austin?
Not much, no.
No. He'll be in AEW in like 3 years. Wrestle House with Kylie Ray and Taya Valkyrie. Yeah, it was alright. It wasn't really proper Wrestle House because it's a special show.
Wrestle House, which I figured out is some of the best stuff on TV.
Yeah. It's not. I don't think Wrestle House is finishing. It's just like this isn't a normal Impact show, so there wasn't much of it. But Kylie Ray picked up the win from. I can't remember what move she won it with, but it doesn't matter because she won. And then the main event, the Motor City Machine Guns versus the North. What can you say? All four men are just mega stars. Yeah, the North worked over them for quite a bit. Chris Sabin got a comeback, and then Motor City Machine Guns got a few near falls, found another gear, and hit the Skull and Bones finisher, which is really cool. Do you know what it is?
No.
It's hard to explain. Yeah, it is hard to explain, but it looks good, and that's what matters. It was really good. I really like the North, but the Motor City Machine Guns are the people to keep the titles on.
The Motor City Machine Guns, everyone knows them.
It was just perfect tag team wrestling. I'd advise anyone to go out and watch the match because I don't think I've done it justice. But yeah, a quality Impact show going into night 2 of Emergence tomorrow. No, tonight.
Tuesday, yeah, tonight.
Yeah. Main event. Humberto Carrillo defeated Arturo Ruas.
I'll be honest, I thought you said the main event of TNA then.
Oh,
I was like, what the Humberto's made the switch?
That was the main event.
Yeah.
Humberto beat Ruas, and in the main event, Riddick Moss defeated Mustafa Ali.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, that ain't
this
good,
is why
is
I don't watch it. So I don't need to know that Mustafa Ali lost.
No, to be fair, like I do think it's worth watching these things because if someone's not on TV but they're on main event and they get beat by like Riddick Moss, it gives you an indicator as to where they are on the card and how likely they are to be pushed. And in Mustafa Ali's case, unlikely.
I don't understand it. The sort of the consistent.
Riddick Moss, he's getting booked like he's on like a Goldberg run at this point. He's on like every week.
I can understand Riddick Moss because he's actually decent in what he does, but he's not Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali is actually just a really nice guy, and that's all you have to do for your gimmick. Like, look at Titus. Titus is an extremely nice guy, and yes, he don't get wins on TV, but he's so good for PR. Let's say you have Ali, who is an incredible wrestler, as well. He could be a very high tier mid carder that you put the Intercontinental or US belt on, and when it's like when proper pay per view season, he'll be perfect for interviews as a
Yeah.
champion, as and for like what's it called, promotion for you. Mental that
Yeah,
he's just always
yeah.
down.
I will. I've realised because the main event results that I always say are the ones from like 3 weeks ago because that's when they air on the network. But I've
That's fair enough.
realised I've realised that they don't really make sense because like obviously this was all before well before Riddick Moss was on Raw Underground.
Yeah,
So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to catch up with main event in terms of saying what the results are,
most recent. Well,
and then I'll just do it week by week so it makes more sense.
yeah, because when
But
you did say Riddick must have thought, I swear he was on Raw Underground.
yeah, so just give me a second. I think I'm
I
like
still want to say out.
I think I'm 2 shows behind. So on 2 weeks ago's main event, Ruby Riott defeated Billy Kay,
Oh,
and
go on, Ruby.
uh, wow, what? That doesn't make sense. Ruby Riott beat Billy Kay, okay. And Angel Garza defeated Titus O'Neil. Oh,
Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah.
Angel Garza, man, come
Well,
on.
he's on Raw as well. We can let him off. He just wants to just be on everything.
And then the latest main event, Bianca Belair defeated Billy Kay. Oh, Billy Kay.
Billy Kay.
And Murphy defeated Humberto Carrillo. That's going to be a sick match.
That would be a
That's
great
going to be
match.
so cool. I'm up for that.
I think if we have time in the end, I'll ask it. But it's going to be about Murphy. But thank you for your main event and 205. Have you got?
Yeah, I think that's everything.
Yeah. Right. Well, we've got the big boy shows now. Well, we've got SmackDown's good, but we'll talk about NXT Takeover first. The pre-show was Breezango defeating Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch and Legado del Fantasma. Very decent. I didn't get a chance to watch this match because I didn't know it was on the pre-show.
Oh,
I thought it was on the main card.
it was just it were an opening. It were a free show match. It was good. It was fun. It was nothing exceptional. I was confused that Legado del Fantasma didn't win.
I was expecting to win just considering like the
They've
win
been
they got on TV.
Yeah.
But no, apparently not.
I had a look at the odds beforehand, and it said Breezango were favourites, and I was like, surely not.
Well, they won, so they'll get that shot against Imperium, right?
Oh,
haven't been.
just before we come on to it, we've had the big news that NXT UK is returning in like 3 weeks.
Yep, it's being
Get
held
in
at
there.
BT Sports Studio.
Get in there. It's a cleansed roster.
Very cleansed roster. It'll be interesting.
I would say Finn Balor still needs his shot against Walter, and Ilya Dragunov is the #1 contender because he won a battle royal on the last show.
It'll be
So
interesting to see what they do. I forgot that Ilya was in, so they have actually got a good roster.
yeah, as I say, Dragunov versus Walter should be on like the first show back because he's #1 contender.
And their women's roster is good as well. You got Kaylee Ray, Viper. Who else have you got? Have you got no? Killer Kelly's not on the roster anymore.
Ginny's still there somehow.
She's always
good wrestler, but questionable person.
Is she?
But
I don't know.
well, she was involved in the speaking out movement, and NXT UK didn't bring much against her, so it's not my place to comment.
No, not your place, but
I'm sure other people will. You
yeah.
wouldn't have to look too far, probably, to find people.
No, I could probably have a look after the podcast and definitely find something. So it comes back in 3 weeks.
Yep, so that's cool. That's good. Yeah. It'll be from the UK one, won't it?
Unless it's in the BT Sports Studio. I think Alex McCarthy Clive. I can have a look. I've got the screenshots saved on my phone.
That's cool.
Where is it? It's here. NXT UK shows will emanate from BT Sports Studios in London. They've already been hosting boxing there. NXT Takeover Dublin remains a possibility on October the 25th at the very least, and is surely the aim. I think for me, if you can get Finn over there and Finn stays there, just as that big pulling guy.
Yeah, I think NXT UK is really good. It's going to take a while to sort of build this roster back up.
Yeah, especially with everything that went on. But
Yeah.
you probably, if you look about it, you've still got a decent roster who are not.
Oh yeah,
bricks.
totally. But it's taken a bit of a reputation hit. Let's face it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. We'll go back to NXT, the proper main show now. The show opened up with Finn Balor versus Timothy Thatcher in a very good match. What you'd expect from both of these guys. Thatcher is using his just brutality, his actual technical wrestling, and then Balor sort of using his he's been heel for ages, but using his heel self.
Two solid blokes having a good scrap.
Yeah, nearly forced Balor to submit. Thatcher Prince fought through thought the pain. Van Der with his coup de grace, Spike Thatcher with the 1916 DDT to get the 3 count and pick up his 12th takeover victory. I think it's a correct result. Keep Balor strong. Thatcher, all Thatcher needs is a run of wins and he's fine.
Yeah. I don't think Timothy Thatcher loses too much, but
No.
Finn Balor just wins.
And on matches that he loses, he takes his opponent to the max.
He's a bit like Cody's Finn Balor in the sense that he always wins sort of the big matches, you feel, but he doesn't. I don't think he's ever really going to go for the title.
Not anytime soon. No, obviously, I think for him it's all about the NXT UK stuff.
Yeah, he's just killing time on full flat NXT till he can get to Walter.
Till he can get semi-skimmed.
Yeah.
Then we have the ladder match. I really enjoyed. Now it wasn't to the peak of the other one, in my opinion. Do you know the takeover one?
Yeah.
But very good. Damien Priest picking up the win. I'm gonna have a hard time remembering all the spots.
It was one big finishing sequence.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to go over the spots because there were so many. The ones that stick in my mind are Bronson Reed's Candice LeRae backpack frog splash.
Yep.
Velveteen Dream being thrown into just oblivion.
Good. I remember it was sort of Priest was laid on the ladder that was between where the announcers would be and the ring, and then Dream picks up Gargano for the Dream Belly driver. It hits it, but he doesn't really do anything to the ladder on Priest. He sort of just rolls off Priest.
I don't really fall for near falls in championship matches. Not near falls, but like near grabbing the titles.
Yeah.
But I can honestly say that at any point in the match, I honestly thought every person had got the title.
Which makes a perfect ladder match.
Dream, I don't think Dream ever got realistically close.
Dream had one spot where he climbs up, and then I think Reed just like crushes his head with his hands.
I think that was just because I knew they were never really going to put it on Dream.
There was worry when he was the only one left in the ring. I think Gargano came from the other side, but you could see people laid out, and Dream was the only one who stood up, and I was like, they're going to put the belt on him. They're going to put the belt on him.
Grimes, Reed, and Gargano, I'd thought they'd done it at any point, and I'd have been happy with any. Bronson Reed would have been a bit flat because he misses somewhere for me.
Yeah.
But any of the others, Damien Priest is cool, but I preferred Grimes or Gargano.
Priest got one of the best Triple H pictures. Do you know? Have you seen it when he's in the hot tub?
Yeah. Well, it was that segment afterwards where he just jumps into the hot tub with the women that he owns.
In full gear.
Damien Priest. Damien Priest.
Correct result. I think Damien Priest. I think he was probably the favourite going in, possibly. Maybe with Grimes. But for me, it just made me realise how much I love Johnny Gargano. He just always steps up in these big matches and has a great match.
Yeah, Gargano's the best. Ciampa returns on Wednesday, doesn't
he? Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Is he going for the Karrion Kross? No, he isn't, because Karrion Kross is injured. Damn, we'll come on to that.
Is he?
Have you not seen this?
I didn't catch the main event. I went to sleep.
Oh, Karrion Kross wrestled half the match with a dislocated shoulder. He's out.
Oh my god.
He's been Finn Balor.
So I knew that Karrion Kross had won. I
He
knew
gets.
that.
Hang on, he had an MRI yesterday, but the extent of the injury hasn't come out yet.
Because I haven't, because there's been so much wrestling. I saw the result, but I didn't manage to watch the main event. I just haven't had time, so I didn't know there were an injury. Just because when it's going through Twitter, because there's been so much wrestling stuff that I've missed. I've definitely missed.
I don't think it was a dislocated shoulder. It had a really fancy name.
But
Just let me.
something that will put him out of action.
Maybe we don't. That's the thing. He's gone for it. He's had an MRI. I mean, he could still move and stuff, and you wouldn't have guessed he was injured. It is. Oh, it's raining hard. Sorry.
It is raining.
I got cricket training tonight, so I kind of need to know whether it's pissing it down or not.
I'm guessing your
Karrion
cricket
Kross-
training will be off.
well, you think so, won't you? He has got a separated acromioclavicular joint in his shoulder.
So when it's separated, surely that's a bit bad.
A separated joint? That's dislocation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it depends whether there was any damage done or whether it could just be popped back in and he's good to go.
We'll wait and see. Hopefully it's fine. But we're going to my match of the evening. It's because It's because I really like Pat. Adam Cole defeated Pat McAfee. But I told you lot, I was like, Pat's gonna have a good show. Look at this video. He is passionate about wrestling. Look at what he said on his podcast, and he helped me. He proved my point. So obviously he had Undisputed Era came out. Well, sorry, Adam Cole came out, and his mates what didn't come with him the rest of the era. They stayed back. Pat McAfee comes out with all of his mates. So with the guys like AJ Hawk and Darius Butler, former NFL stars, and his podcast co-host Nick Maraldo. There we go, in his corner. And so NXT did get NXT. Adam Cole gets the upper hand at the start. And then Pat McAfee just like switches it up. Does jumps onto the second rope, flips over Adam Cole. He goes for it again because it worked before. Adam Cole scouts it out. Then the match just keeps on going on, and then Pat McAfee's mates get a bit happy. They start surrounding Cole. The era come out to even the odds. They're all like brawling under bad like the bottom of the ring. Pat McAfee jumps off the top rope, does like a front flip into just the pile of bodies. Very nice. Very lovely.
It were really good, wasn't it? Like it were really enjoyable. Yeah. It was just the story that was being told. He got a concerningly large amount of offense in, for my liking, but it was spot on. Really.
I think the excuse they could use is just Adam Cole wasn't he thought Pat was just a joker. So when Pat actually sort of came into the ring and was doing these moves, he was sort of saying it was this spot. So Cole thought he shoved McAfee off the top rope. So they're on the top rope brawling. He shoves McAfee, and McAfee does a flip, lands on his feet, runs, jumps up to the top rope, and then hits a superplex. When that happened, was I watching the show with Kieran? No, someone was. But I was messaging in chat and I just thought, Jesus Christ. Wow. Fair enough. Like, people can do it. But when it's your debut match and you're jumping off the top rope, landing a flip, then jumping back up to the top rope and hit a superplex.
Yeah, it was good. It was just fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
NXT are going in a different direction. They're going away from every match being a 5-star classic, and I think they are trying to make it more sports entertaining.
Which is, I think, fine.
Yeah, not every match. Like for me, is it like the moment where it became a bit too much for me was that Adam Cole Johnny Gargano match. You know when Gargano could get hit by a train and kick out at 2.
Yeah.
That was the moment when I was like, "You've taken it too far, lads. It's time to sort of
have a reset." So go. Let's not have these matches of these finisher spots where they are entertaining. They will be seen as 5 stars, but people will eventually, and when we're going, he's going to kick out of this. It's fine. He's kicking out. He's
Yeah,
kicking
because
out.
it just undermines everything else. As I
Yeah.
say, the wrestling matches are not defined by the moves; they're defined by the moments and storytelling. Do you know what I mean? You don't
Yeah.
need to hit every move under the sun, but
No.
without
McAfee.
sounding too much like Jim Cornette.
No. So then for the finish, McAfee goes to hit the pump, but Adam Cole avoids, and Pat ends up kicking the steel steps. McAfee and Adam Cole get in the thing, and then Pat's in the middle of the ring, and Adam Cole. I was expecting like a roll up, not a roll up, but he hits a lovely move, and then all of a sudden Adam Cole gets up on the ring, gets on the ropes. Pat goes over and hits the bloody Panama Sunrise.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see that coming, to be honest, as the finisher.
Yeah, well, it's actually a really safe move.
Yeah, because his legs.
If you take it right, it's fine. I mean, not that I have done, but I know it is.
Yeah. I think Pat McAfee had an amazing shine. Adam Cole picks them fine. One thing that I loved is so after the takeover, I tuned into Pat McAfee's live show, and he went, "I've had messages off like WWE stars and former stars just saying, well done, first of all,' and then he has something to say thank you, because his reasoning for this match and wanting to do good is because first of all he's a lifelong wrestling fan, and he was that's why at points he wanted to be when he growed up. Like he was looking at stuff and he wanted to, he said his biggest thing was making money, but obviously it was while having fun. So blah blah blah, soccer player, wrestler, NFL star. And he went, I've seen people in WWE, and then because I know on his podcast they've got a former WWE producer on it, and they just started talking about all the people that they've had in Gronk, Tyson Fury. I can't. They mentioned one more sports star and stuff, and just went. They sort of put a bit of disrespect on the wrestling name. It seems like they didn't want to be there, and Pat was saying, "I wanted to show that if people wanted to be there, can have a good match," and he did.
Yeah, well done, Pat.
It was
What
yeah,
was
one.
that?
It was the match I was looking forward to the most.
What was that video of Tyson Fury? Was he like calling out Drew McIntyre or something?
Yeah,
You seen it? Is that what it was? Oh,
yeah,
that's happening, isn't it?
and probably not now. With hopefully with the pandemic.
No, they're going to Saudi. Come
They are
on.
going to Saudi. Fucking bastard. How do they get away with it? And Io Shirai defeated Dakota Kai in what was a very good match. I don't know. I really would have liked a Kai win here. I think it's going to be hard to build her back up.
What, you don't have Dakota Kai win?
I just think it's going to be hard to sort of make her get to this level ever again if you want.
In the NXT world, Io Shirai's on a different level.
True. I mean, I like the thing. She hits the moonsault on Raquel Gonzalez, hits the moonsault on Dakota, picks up the win. After the bell, Gonzalez attacked Io Shirai. Rhea Ripley made the save. Gonzalez and Kai retreated, and then Rhea walks away, but before she does that, she just stares down Io. It's a lovely shot the camera's got of Rhea just behind Io. And then the main event, I'll let you talk about the main event because I didn't get to catch this properly.
It was all right. They tried to have a typical main event, and with all due respect, Karrion Kross's strength is not having a 5-star match.
Yeah,
and it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell what I can go. Well, this happened and this happened. He wrestled half the match with a dislocated shoulder,
which is mental.
I couldn't. So, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not really gonna go through the match too much. The finish came as I never really think Keith Lee got a proper near fall.
No.
But the finish came when Saito suplex off the second rope.
Mm-hmm.
Karrion Kross gets the win. And then Ian Scarlett did like the pose on the ramp, when
which is money.
it goes golden, and it's just
Nice.
that's your shot. Like that's the money shot. So
Yeah. At
yeah.
first, when I saw this, I thought, for fuck's sake, Keith Lee just won the belt. It all makes sense with him coming up now, but at first I was like, you made him double champion, which is great, and you've took the belts off him, and I thought if he's still in NXT, that's going to be hard. Not for hard for him to come back from, because I think he's Keith Lee, but I thought that it was going to be tough because he's being called up. I think we're all right there.
Oh yeah, we like that's it now. Thank you, Keith Lee. Yeah.
Good look at mediocrity on the
He's
roster.
had the call. He's had the call. Right. We say it for every NXT superstar, and they find a way. Can they flatten Keith Lee out to the
Yes.
level of indifference?
Yes. They give
Like
him
they
the
have,
Mark Henry.
they have done with Matt Riddle.
They will give him the sexual chocolate. Vince will think he's a bit like
No,
Mark Henry in
no.
terms of stature.
No.
It's Vince.
No. Vince loves Keith. Look, do you really think he'd have had him fist bump Roman Reigns, have that big showing at Survivor Series and the Raw for it? Do you think Vince, if he didn't like him, would have had him go toe to toe with Brock Lesnar in the Royal Rumble?
No, you are
Vince
correct.
loved Keith. Look
And
at
I
him.
hope this is big thing. Look at Keith. I hope this is big for Keith. I really do.
Yeah, I think we all do. But I won't put anything past them.
No, but Takeover, very good show. I really enjoyed it. Every match on the main card was a great match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. SmackDown. There's so much wrestling this week. I can't wait till next week. Oh wait, there's another pay-per-view.
There's another pay-per-view. Oh well, at least it's the week after. No wait, it's all out.
Yeah. Right. Okay. SmackDown. The show's up. It's Vince McMahon. He comes out to introduce WWE Thunderdome. Looks incredible. All these screens. It still needs some owning out. I think the crowd noises need to be altered. Especially last night, the Raw audio was extremely loud. The audio when people were cutting promos. But in terms of visual, what?
I'm looking forward to watching Raw. Is it all right?
Yeah, it was a very. There was bits that were bad, but bits I enjoyed.
Okay.
But the Thunderdome looks incredible, doesn't it? In terms of visually.
Yeah, the fact it's probably hard to do, but it would be good if they can tell all the fans to have the same background wall.
Yes.
The same coloured wall in the background.
Which is obviously going to be hard anyway, but yeah, I know what you mean.
But if you can try and get something close, you know?
Yeah, so like your background is just going to be maybe a white wall or a white texture, like colour. It can work. But the show opens up, it's Vince McMahon introducing it. And literally Vince says, forward, it doesn't say many. The Fiend comes out. His entrance looks incredible on the Thunderdome. All goes red and white. His theme, he comes out, stands in front of Vince, doesn't say anything. Braun's music hits. Vince pisses off. He's not staying there with the Fiend. Braun comes out. They just have a confrontation. And then all of a sudden, you hear some not cheering noises. Retribution come out, just stand all around the ring. And this is what I loved. They nod at each other. And my first thought was, oh no, they're going to team up, aren't they? They're going to team up. And then the Fiend just waves to Braun. Cut lights. Fiend's gone. Braun's surrounded. Braun gets attacked. The entire SmackDown roster come out, try save him. They do save Braun. Braun's still annoyed. He attacks Gulak and then walks off. But the Fiend thing of him just nodding to try to get his thing and then just waving goodbye.
What happened with Keith Lee's music on Raw? Sorry, I've just seen something.
Yes, I haven't. I didn't. So I tuned in late to Raw, so I missed Lee's entrance. I just saw that he come out. No, I didn't have audio on, but I think he's got a change of theme music.
Right.
I'm very confident.
Right. Well,
I remember people saying that he's got a new theme.
Yeah.
And I think he's wearing new gear as well.
Back to SmackDown. I wasn't too bothered about the opening segment. It wasn't so much it was more just we're not looking to progress the story. We just need a big opening segment for Thunderdome.
Yeah.
So I didn't really take any of it sort of at face value. It was more just for this is what it is.
Yeah. But we had an impromptu match. So it was Big E versus Sheamus with a bunch of the wrestlers surrounding the ring because of obviously Retribution, scary Retribution. And well, the match was going fine, and then everyone on the sides got into it. King Corbin and Matt Riddle got into a brawl. But this is distracts Sheamus. Big E picks up a roll up. Then New Day joined the New Day. Big E's joined by Heavy Machinery. For some reason, they have a dance. I don't think Big E should have got a roll up. I think it should have been a finish, but sure.
Hang on, were Retribution on Raw?
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say
It's the worst thing that you haven't seen it because they started to tease.
Have they? Right. Well, it was because they kind of just half-assed it on SmackDown, and they didn't show up at NXT Takeover, and they didn't show up at SummerSlam. So I was just a little bit like, "Come on, lads, are you committed to the cause or not?" But if they're on Raw,
they're on Raw, and I think I sort of want you to stay because it's not really. Well, it's a spoiler. Damn it. We'll yeah. Because you know what? I'll be my main event.
Whilst you're on mute, I'll watch the Retribution segment. And then I'll come back.
It's the final segment of Raw, and just see I can send you the picture. Just see the lineup of Retribution members because I think they've clarified the final members.
All right, okay.
I'll send you the picture now.
When you're ready.
Just have a look at the Raw highlight. SmackDown though, we had about Braun Strowman breaks into the Firefly Fun. No, this weren't yet. I don't think. Yeah, it weren't yet.
No, this was next up was Nakamura and Cesaro versus Lucha House Party.
And Cesaro and Nakamura pick up the win. Fair enough. This was more about sort of beef in between the Lucha House Party. So Swiss Side, he gets into the ring and gets a roll up on Lindsay. But then after the match, Kalisto comes in and just gets angry at Lindsay, and Lindsay's getting angry at Kalisto, and Grand Metalik sort of has to be the mediator between them. And
that's Dominic Dijakovic if I've ever seen him.
Yeah, have you just seen the image? We'll talk about it on Raw, but
and giant ninja next to him.
Maybe. I like the sort of dissension on the ranks in the Lucha House Party in terms of Metalik's now going to have to be this mediator between Lindsay and Kalisto, who are not getting on for some reason.
I would like it, but Kalisto's been back for one whole week. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Come on. If they do split up, how's it going to benefit any of them?
Nothing. I don't think it will.
Yep. So pointless. Beat the clock challenge.
Yeah. Go on, Elliot. Do you want to talk about this one?
Yeah. Yes. I do. Right. Sasha Banks beats Naomi by submission. So it was whoever beats Naomi in the longest amount of time has to face her first. No.
Yeah.
Whoever wins quickest gets her first at SummerSlam. So she's like, no, gets a second because she's already been beaten up by the other one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks wins quite comfortably, 3.5 minutes. And then Naomi wins in like a minute and a half by rear view. What?
Mental, innit?
Really? What? Why?
I hate the rear view. I hate it with a passion.
I saw someone, I can't remember who pointed it out, but WWE have got this thing at the moment where they don't call moves or people by their names. And they do it with Naomi and they do it with Retribution. So they are not Retribution, they are the group that calls themselves Retribution.
For fuck's sake.
Naomi doesn't hit them with the rear view. She hits it and they go, she calls it the rear view.
I hate it.
Look out for it. Like next time, it's really kind of fun. It's like they're embarrassed to say it. It's like she calls it the rear view. We don't.
The thing is, with Asuka, right? When Asuka hits a move with her ass, she uses force. People just run into Naomi's ass.
It's a hip attack.
Yeah.
You know?
But
I don't get people saying why does Asuka not follow her way.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the rear.
Asuka's looks a lot better, but yeah, the thing is, Naomi did that like split-legged moonsault.
Yeah, She could do it way much more than
Such a
her
better.
finisher requires.
Yeah.
Right. I do feel sorry for Naomi.
Sonya Deville promises to end Mandy Rose's career.
Yeah.
So we up the stakes. It's no longer hair versus hair. It's loser leaves town.
Leaves WWE, yeah. And cool. I did enjoy it. I think maybe one problem is how are you going to book them coming back at it? So obviously, if you don't know SummerSlam, Sonya loses. I think the thing is, but how do you bring her back? I think she's going to take a bit of a break, obviously, with everything that's gone on with her in her personal life. I
don't know how you bring her back.
Yeah. Because the problem is, you could bring her back and say, oh, she wants revenge on Mandy, but she did lose. And yeah, we'll talk about her SummerSlam. Jeff Hardy defeated AJ Styles in what might have been the shockiest win. So during Retribution tag, AJ Styles made the most of it and actually attacked Jeff Hardy when Retribution were thinking, which I quite like. I like that AJ's using this to his sort of advantage in attacking Jeff Hardy for his match. Then Hardy had to wear a knee brace throughout the match. Styles then was getting all the attacks in because Hardy's injured. Simple. Hardy then sets up the Styles clash, and then the challenger basically stunned Styles with his knee brace, and then Hardy hits the Swanton Bomb. 1, 2, 3. Hardy's the Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Yeah. Are they allergic to putting the IC title matches on SummerSlam on like pay-per-views?
Must be. So I think in the past 3 months it's only been on the SmackDown before or after.
Yeah.
So with this, my brain started working. So after this, before the final segment, AJ was backstage just shouting at his statistician. I don't know what they've actually called him. Is he called Joseph Parks?
Yeah.
He started shouting at Joseph Parks, and then he just clicked. This is how you bring Abyss. Where
Abyss isn't coming.
Where AJ has tormented Joseph Parks enough, keeps on doing it, saying you were wrong. The one time Abyss comes out, AJ's just shouting to himself, and now after weeks of him berating Joseph Parks, the camera pans left and it's AJ looking. What are you doing here? Boom! It's Abyss. Abyss attacks AJ. Abyss versus AJ feud.
I think it's off topic, but I think I've got 2 more members of Retribution.
Okay, we'll talk about him raw though.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah, Joe. Wait, you're on about the Joseph Parks stuff?
Yeah, I think maybe
this wasn't on YouTube, so I don't really know all about it.
It was just AJ shouting at Joseph Parks, and it just made me think maybe Abyss comes after AJ's berated Parks enough. He has enough, and Abyss comes out.
He hadn't wrestled for years.
True, but
it wouldn't make sense. Like
no.
No one in most of the WWE audience will have no idea who Joseph Parks is.
No.
You know what I mean? It's way too niche.
Yeah. But at the end of the show, Braun Strowman attacked the Firefly Funhouse and Bray Wyatt. So Strowman finds his way to the mythical lands of the Firefly Funhouse and drags him out, and he's back in the arena. Whoa, how does he do that? I mean, first of all, where's the Firefly Funhouse? Is it in a separate realm? Is it in a room in the stadium? We don't know.
No, we don't. They lost me with this because it just takes you out of it because the Firefly Funhouse should not just be like a physical place. It's a representation of Bray Wyatt's mind.
Yeah. So but Braun finds Bray, drags him out, and then it takes him to sort of where a truck would come in, and he just choke slams Wyatt off it. This is Bray Wyatt, not the thing. Picks up Wyatt and just choke slams off it. Obviously, they've put a mat there, but it still feels vicious that Braun's gone to this point. He's throwing him off, I'd say a good 4 feet. Boom.
It
Drops
was a
onto
bit of a drop.
Yeah, a big drop. Drops onto hard concrete. Braun goes off, and the Bray Wyatt is eventually wheeled into an ambulance. You had Adam Pearce slapping the ambulance to go, and the ambulance wasn't. It goes a bit, and then it comes back, and then all of a sudden the doors open, and the Fiend emerges.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
it was very cheesy, wasn't it?
It was very cheesy, but yeah, I suppose it just sets up that the Fiend is there, ready. I can't really think.
Yeah.
Right, that was SmackDown, all building up to SummerSlam. I've done it. I've tried to get it in good time here. We're an hour and 5 in, so
I'm doing all
I've
right.
tried to get it in good time. Right, where's SummerSlam?
You take the pre-show.
Oh, great! I didn't watch the pre-show.
Oh, right, I'll do it then. Apollo versus MVP. Yeah, it was all right. They did wrestling. There was no one at ringside. Benjamin and Lashley were in the back. Toss powerbomb. Apollo Crews wins. He's now facing Bobby Lashley at Payback, where I think he loses.
Yeah. Yep. Same.
Asuka versus Bayley.
Yeah. Bayley, she comes out, same with Asuka, and Bayley gets quite a bit of offense in, and it's actually a really good match. And she good back forth, some little decent spots. 2 seconds, we load up here. But it's all to do with Sasha. So Asuka hits Sasha off the apron. Bayley comes over and manages to get the roll up because of it. And then as soon as the bell hits, Banks runs in the ring, just attacks Asuka. They eventually walk away, and so now Asuka's on the backhand trying to, he's now trying to thing it. She's got to take Sasha Banks on later on in the match. I'm sorry, I'm tired. Yeah, she's going to take her on later on the thing. Bayley picks up the win. Great result. I feel about Bayley's the better one out of the two currently in terms of heels. The Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Gaza. And this was more really about miscommunication. So Ford accidentally collided with Selena Vega on the outside, which meant that Andrade went to go check on her. Meanwhile, no one was home as Gaza looked to make a tag to Andrade. Dawkins dropped Gaza with the cash out. Tina Ford hit the rotation frog splash to retain the titles. I don't know where they go with this feud. I wait until Simon's back, but I don't know where they go. I don't know why I'm talking to you like it's queer. Because Andrade is incredible, but so is Angel Gaza. And Angel Gaza has got this like love machine gimmick where everyone's attracted to him. Fair enough.
Are you saying they should have won?
No. I'm saying about with the breakups. Obviously, the finish came where Andrade went to check Selena, Angel Gaza wanted the tag, Andrade wasn't there.
Did they split on Raw?
No.
I didn't get the impression from the end of the match that they're gonna split.
No, I didn't get the split. I just think, well, where are you going where there's this miscommunication? Are you building it up to where they both decide the better singles guys, or where they actually come together to be a good tag team?
Yeah, I don't think they've got a plan. So
no. Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville in what was a very underwhelming match.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
You're giving an A grade here.
Really?
I thought it was all right.
At the start, it was very sloppy.
I thought there was good intensity.
The intensity was good, but I think for me it was extremely sloppy.
I mean, I'm not that invested in the feud, so I kind of half-assed it. Oh, okay.
It was a no disqualification match. Yeah, I think we saw a couple of steel chair hits and that was it.
Oh, I forgot about that bit. Oh, yeah, it wasn't it? I thought it was just a normal match.
No, and I think as the match went on, they got comfortable. But at the start, like, when they were going to throw someone to the thing, it was like they just didn't want to. And they were just doing stupid knees and holding each other. I don't know. And then poor Mandy, she had a mare. Have you seen it?
No.
She couldn't lift the table up. So she pulls the table out all fine. She puts the legs. Then she goes to lift it up, and she can't even put it on its side. She eventually gets aside, but then because she's not large, she can't put her full arms to lift it over. So she's trying to flick it up, and basically you see in the background you see Sonya Deville just keep on looking over to see if she's got the table up yet, because it takes her a good 30 seconds
Right.
extra.
I haven't seen it. My favourite bit about the entire thing was Otis coming to cash in on Mandy
Of course,
Rose.
see, that's why it shouldn't have been. It should have been about the match. Rose picks up the win with the double bicycle. I think it was 2 bicycle knees. One finally to force her out of WWE. While
Otis is
Deville
cashing
got angry
in.
at it, yeah, Otis comes out and Mandy hits the worm, tries to do the worm. I hate that.
Why?
I know
Why?
Otis should have come out, but this should be about Sonya and Mandy. Mandy's finally
No,
over
no,
the
right.
odds against Sonya.
Otis should have come out. He was all too quick to come out for this. But when the Fiend had just been taken 2 spears by Roman Reigns, where was he then?
This is where I've got the problem. I was hoping that Sonya would be decimating Mandy so much that Otis comes out and goes, scrap it. You can have my belt. You can have my briefcase. Just save Mandy.
No, we're not turning Otis into a simp.
He's already a simp. He is. He's already a
But you
simp.
don't do that to your Money in the Bank holder. No.
I think it's forgot his money in the bank holder, to be honest. I know he had the briefcase, but yeah. I think the interesting one for me is, where does Sonya go?
She takes time off and then she ends up in Raw Underground.
Fair enough. Next up, one of my favourite matches of the show, Seth Rollins against Dominic Mysterio.
Match of the night.
Yep,
Loved it.
really did.
One of my favourite SummerSlam matches in a long time.
It was because it had that intensity that the feud had built, and Dominic, well done to Dominic. Obviously, you expected a little bit from him because he's raised Cade and he's had a lot more wrestling experience. But for your debut main big pay-per-view match, to have that as it
was.
I don't have a hat, but hats off.
It was. It was the story that we're told of just. I mean, when it got to the bit where like Mysterio and Angie were on the ramp, and then Mysterio Ray gets like cuffed, and like they threaten to like go up and just start Kendo sticking his wife. And
that was the thing for me.
Is when so many story beats
where Dominic's mum and Ray's wife comes out, and Ray goes over to try, sort of forgets about Dominic for a second and tries to play this. Seth takes advantage of this immediately. Just absolutely, him and Murphy laying into Dominic. Ray realizes, goes to make the save. It's just a trap. Boom, handcuffs. As Seth is just doing it. It was never really about Dominic, which I quite like about this feud. It was always about Seth punishing Ray. And so when he's attacking Dominic, he's doing it all in the face of Ray.
Yeah. It was. Oh, it was just the story, wasn't it? It was.
And then the stomp.
You've got to do it justice.
Yeah, incredible match. Incredible. Really, really loved it. Really did. Asuka defeated Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's Championship. So obviously, after the SmackDown match, Sasha attacked Asuka. So obviously, Sasha should have the best. Should be a fitter. She's a fitter opponent. Asuka is weak, and then it's all about Bayley. Banks pleaded with Bayley at ringside for reassurance, but Bayley was in the wrong place at the wrong time. She moved out of the way to avoid the same hip attack that Asuka hit Banks with. Asuka reversed the Banks statement, pulled the Asuka lock, and Banks had no choice to submit. It's the slow feud. It's the slow burning feud.
Slow burn, yeah.
And I think it'll eventually come to something. I don't know what it will, but
it was what it was. I thought they were going to turn here, but no. Evidently, it's got to be at Payback.
Yeah.
I believe Payback's this Sunday.
WWE Champion Drew McIntyre defeats Randy Orton, and oh my God, what
we'll never see it coming.
We'll never see it coming.
You will.
That was obviously the whole thing. It was about how Drew will never see the RKO coming, or Randy will never see the Claymore. In fairness, we never saw the finish coming, but you've had one of the best builds on WWE. You've had the best build on WWE TV you may have had for a long, long time. You've brought people back to help with this. So the match goes on, and you know what?
I
Very
liked
decent
it.
match.
Did you
You know
not?
what? It was a good match, apart from the finish, in my opinion.
No, it protects Orton.
It does protect on. I've realised that after, but in that moment when
Yeah, in the
I was
moment.
watching this with KL, so I think I was playing Madden while it was on. I had my eyes on, and I just hear Kieran go, "Oh no!" And I look back and I see Drew celebrating. I'm like, "What is he? Is he won?" He went, "Give it 2 seconds." I saw the highlight, and so Orton goes for the RKO, and you know, lovely reversal. Drew turns, and it's a lovely pin, backslide 1, 2, 3. I was just thinking, if
In
this
the
is what all
moment.
your promos been for a stupid backslide.
Oh no. In the moment, I started laughing, and then when like Orton was outside, just being like, "Yeah, damn, you got me." I was like, "Yeah, that's all right." I like that. You'll never see it coming. SummerSlam, big title match, no finishers hit, and it was certainly a
Yeah,
better finish than what came afterwards.
yeah. There's part of me that hated it, part of me that liked it. I thought You Never See It Coming was better for this. I mean, when the main event, but Drew's obviously the champion. Still, at least he's still got the belt. That's the biggest thing. He's still got the belt. But the main event. So I know when the thingy happened, when it was found out that the Fiend Braun was main event, I was like, shenanigans happening. It's a false count anywhere match. They're gonna go backstage and end up in weird Bray land. That didn't happen. I think the stipulation was a bit stupid, but so the match happens and both guys, Braun is incensed with Fiend. The Fiend is snapped onto Braun. Fiend doing a lot of the neck snapping to Braun. Um, then Strowman chokeslams Wyatt. Then goes underneath the ring, gets a toolbox, attacks Braun. They manage to get to the backstage area in gorilla position where no one was, surprisingly. Wyatt hits his sister Abigail on the bare floor. They get back to the ring. Strowman uses Stanley Life, cuts up the ring until the wood's exposed. But it doesn't come to Braun's thing. It goes to Fiend as a Fiend hits two Sister Abigails on the wood. And then all of a sudden, 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. Fiend's got the belt. Braun,
Strowman looked so silly.
yeah, because it's
He
his
just
fault. He opened
ripped,
up it up.
he ripped up. Yeah, but he didn't even get the slightest little bit of offense in. He
No,
literally ripped it up, and he took 100% of the offense, and that was it. Oh, all right. No, want a fan.
yeah.
The post match saved it, but the match itself
The post
was
match.
it was a letdown, which is a shame.
And I've realised watching pay-per-views with people helps shows so much. Because Kieran is a very big Fiend fan. So when I first saw it outside, I went, and he was happy because the Fiend had won the belt. He wasn't happy because he says he didn't know where the Fiend goes, because obviously we thought that was the end. We thought, that's a very quick match. And then all of a sudden, you just see a man just come in as the Fiend stands up, just a spear, and then attacking. At first, I was like, who's that? And then you see this Roman Reigns is back.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't believe.
I knew that he was back before I watched it. So
See, that's the problem if you don't watch it live. You didn't have the genuine. For me,
no, it was
I was
my
so.
bad, right? I was looking at the match card on the chapter bits on the network,
Mhm.
and the final chapter was titled "Roman Reigns makes his return." I was like, "Thanks, guys.
Thanks for spoiling it. But yeah,
Cheers, cheers, WWE."
stupid. But this was incredible. I love this from me. So, and I love that he weren't just attacking the feed, he was attacking Strowman. Um, and what does his shirt say? I can't remember.
Wreck everyone and leave.
Which is it's a heel Roman. It's what everyone. Did you know Roman was returning before you saw the match? You know,
No,
in terms of that.
and
I
I
said,
never saw it coming.
I thought
Tom Phillips was keen to point that out at the end.
he was. I thought it was so early for him. I just presumed he'd be back once there was a vaccine or it had really slowed down. Oh no. Oh no,
Yeah,
indeed.
I was a bit taken aback by it. I was a bit like, huh. But I guess now he's sort of, I don't know, he's
Now it's been
the
a while,
the
possibly because they've
newborn
moved to
of
the Amway
growth.
Centre. Yeah. And maybe because they've moved to the Amway Centre, possibly he feels a bit more comfortable just because at the Performance Centre, there was a crowd as well and stuff like that.
Yeah. And they do
But
like better testing now, and maybe, but yeah, man, Roman's back.
I don't think I would have been ever happy to see Roman's back, but heel Roman's Ian, I'm
Return.
all for it.
I
Yeah.
thought Charlotte Flair was going to return at this show, and she didn't.
Really?
Yeah, well, she was meant to return like a couple of weeks before SummerSlam
Ah, right.
because she's only. Hang on, let me get up the word.
Why? What did she go off with? A surgery, or was it just to have a
Surgery,
break?
but not an injury. It was
A
undergoing
cosmetic.
planned elective surgery, and that was on June 23rd, and she was reported to be out for 6 weeks,
Ah,
and it's been about 9. So I guess
I'm guessing.
Charlotte Flair in the mix. So that's 2 big stars back in the company. So
Yeah, I'm just so happy Roman's back.
yeah, he adds a lot to the product, doesn't he? Really.
Yeah, and you know what? Really enjoyed SummerSlam.
He's
I
a
think
top
watching it
dog.
with someone does help a lot. But I'm glad Roman's back. And what do you think? What were your opinions of SummerSlam? Give it a ranking out of 5.
High 3.
Yeah, I would say 3.5.
I'm going to say
One
4.
problem with
I'm going to say 4 in the circumstances.
yeah, one thing that I didn't like: no Alexa appearance. After
Um,
using Alexa so much, I was expecting something from her. Obviously, it don't really matter in the end product because of Roman, but I was expecting something.
yeah, it never crossed my mind, but now you say it, I can give you that.
Yeah. We'll go to Raw.
Right, you shall be muted.
I
Oh,
shall be muted.
before I go, the 2 members of Retribution. Second from the right is Mia Yim.
Ah, I
No,
was thinking
left,
Casey
left.
Catanzaro.
I went left.
Oh, wait from the hold up. I need to
Second,
load up the picture. Can I hold up?
second.
Give me 2 seconds. I might be able to load up the picture for people on the stream. Give me 2 seconds. Which should it be? Images. There we go. If I 2 seconds, if I do this, if I save the image as, boom, 2 seconds. Look at this professionalism. StreamYard, share screen, first screen, boom. There you go. You've got the image.
Right, there's a better image on Twitter, but second left
So this
is
one.
Mia Yim.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Second from the right is Dio Madden.
Ooh, that's a shout.
And middleman is Dijak.
Dijakovic. I was thinking Lacey Lane, Casey Catanzaro.
I think Lacey Lane's taller than that.
That's why I thought not.
Some have said Jessica Mayer. Some have said Santana Garrett.
Maybe. This is the one that we should be looking at, just because you can actually see part of the face.
No, there's a far better picture that I'll try and send to you, so you can fire it up. I'll try what I won't be too long, but I would have not been able to get Mia Yim from that picture. It's from the other one.
Okay, well, so, I will talk about Raw as you send me through the thing. Show opened up with Randy Orton. He comes out and just talks about SummerSlam. He's interrupted by Keith Lee. Keith Lee is on Monday Night Raw, and he's got Randy Orton as his first feud. All for it, and I hope he gets the win. Really push him to the moon. The problem is, I can't remember off the top of my head. Like, I watched it live, but I can't remember like everything. I'm just going to go through what it says on their website. Shayna Baszler defeated Bayley by disqualification. So this all happened in a backstage segment. And then Nia Jax entered the fray and got payback for Baszler's taunts. Baszler and Nia Jax separated and turned their attention to Sasha and Bayley. It's all DQ. It leads to a match at Payback. Akira Tozawa reclaims the 24/7 title in a fatal 4-way match. Fair enough, it's a typical 24/7 match. Let me load up this. Typical 24/7 match.
We got the picture.
Yep, 2 seconds. I'm just saving it and loading up. StreamYard, share screen, first screen, boom. There you go. So if I can zoom in a bit. Yep, that's definitely me.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
That's
can't
definitely
work out the other three.
Actually, Yeah, that's probably Dijakovic. I didn't think the guy was too bulky, like in there, not bulky enough to be Dijakovic by his hips.
Some people think it's Roman. It's not Roman.
That's not Roman. That's definitely not Roman. Yeah, I can see that's Mia Yim now, for sure.
Some people, quite a lot of people think, and I don't know why, but the one between Mia Yim and Dijak is Shane Thorne.
I could see it. Brendan Vink.
Yeah, well, that's just crossed my mind.
Vink, Thorne, Yim. Maybe Dio Madden.
Who else is there?
That's the problem. Who can this retro? I think now we're slowly gonna. I think we're gonna get a reveal one by one now, because I think now they've settled that these three people are the main members. Who's that? So I couldn't think who's that small.
Casey Catanzaro's tiny.
But it's not the right skin color.
So is Lacey Lane. Yeah.
Who's got nails like that?
I'm looking at the Performance Centre trainees to see if there's anything.
That could be Dio Madden, possibly, but I don't think Dio Madden's huge.
You've got Big Jordan.
That I don't think Big Jordan, because Big Jordan is the security guard, isn't he, for Raw Underground, right?
Oh, have you had a look at who EJ and Duca is?
And is he that form? Is it EJ and then I found him? Oh, that could be. And is he the former bodybuilder, gridiron thing? You know, that could be him.
Maybe the one who we think Dijak could be Daniel Vido.
Yep, I can see that. No, I think Vido's got a tattoo where he's wearing. Maybe that's why he's wearing gloves. But I think he's got a tattoo just above where his glove is. It could be that guy, you know. That is very similar stature.
All trainees.
If it's all trainees, well.
No, it's not. Obviously, Mia Yim.
Yeah, true. I'm just trying to. It's a very interesting thing because now I think now we've said, because WWE are saying, who are these 6 people of Retribution? I'm just going through an article. People are guessing through the leaders. Roman's one. As a guess. The Miz is one, because obviously, did you see on SmackDown where the Miz came out after everyone else?
Yeah.
Like, as in, if he let them into the building. But I think the problem is, how did they get into Raw? People saying Punk is a very small rumour.
Nonsense.
Other small rumours, Dijakovic and Ciampa. But Ciampa's returning to NXT. It'll be very interesting to see who it is, but obviously you can see on the image there, that one is Mia Yim. It's got to be. So we think maybe Lacey Lane, Mia Yim, Shane Thorne or Vido, Dijakovic or Brendan Vink, EJ and Duque, I can't remember his name.
EJ and Duque or Dio Madden or maybe
Jordan
Omogbehe.
And then this one, Chelsea Green, possibly.
Nah, Chelsea Green. Oh, I don't know. Maybe,
possibly. Yeah. From that image, possibly. But that was some nice investigating there. See me notice. But we'll go back to Monday Night Raw. Kurosawa, if you're going on mute, just I'll message you when we're either done or I've made event or something. Kurosawa, 24/7 title, wins it back. Montez Ford defeats Angel Garza. Because Ivar comes out and swoops Burnett with the turkey leg. I don't know if you're going on mute or unless I'm on mute. The Riot Squad and Bianca Belair defeat the Iconics and Selena Vega. Fair play to get a win. Iconics and Selena Vega not really a team. That's probably their excuse. Apollo Crews beat Lashley in an arm wrestling competition. As the Hurt Business came down, it sets up the match. A payback, obviously, because he's very angry about what happened in the arm wrestling match. Lashley goes to Raw Underground and Ziggler answers the challenge. You know what? We got a really good back and forth of them. And then Lashley throws Ziggler into the crowd. Ziggler hits the wall. So he's out. A lot of people came in. Lashley dominated him. The Viking Raiders came in. And a brawling out broken up. Raw Underground very weak this week. I think we only had one major segment. if I can remember the top of my head. Randy Orton defeated Keith Lee by disqualification. So this is what the thing said. The Legend Killer met the next generation as Randy Orton and Keith Lee squared off in the Limitless One's Raw debut. As Orton addressed the WWE Universe after 2 early kicks to skull. So I've completely forgot this. Throughout the show, Drew was attacking Randy was attacking Drew, so he hits 2 punts on Drew, and Drew gets up and talks and stuff, and then we go to a backstage segment, and Drew's talking to Charlie, and he goes, Randy, I know you're listening. Boom, Orton from behind, punt, lead 3 punts in one show. I think they're possibly right enough, so Drew doesn't have to do double duty, doesn't have to wrestle a match at Payback. But yeah, Keith Lee stood up to the Viper and went, I'm defending Drew's honor. The Red Brand newcomer shot the Evans by Evans catching a punch and effortlessly tossing on with the overhead belly-to-belly suplex. As the intensity ratcheted up, McIntyre unbelievably came back in a fury after 2 earlier kicks from the skull from Orton. WWE Champion's presence set Orton scrambling, and so it's a poor way for Keith Lee to make his debut with a DQ. But you know what? Put him in a feud with Orton. Perfect. Asuka defeated Sasha Banks in a Raw Women's Championship lumberjack match. And this was all about Baszler attacking Bayley. Bayley using her thing to the side, outside to our advantage. But Asuka using the opportunity, hugging Asuka locking once again. Banks had to tap. I think Sasha Banks looks quite a bit weak from this, but but I think she can eat a loss, all in the feud sense. And finally, the main event, Rhea and Dominic defeated Seth and Murphy by disqualification. Really good match, this. I like that Murphy was getting, and Rhea were getting a chance now to get involved in the matches properly, in sort of in-ring sense. But Dominic climbed to the top of the turnbuckle, ready to earn a piece of payback for win. And as soon as that Retribution attacking Dominic and attacking Rhea, Seth and Murphy, immediately run, and they stand at the top of the ramp while and there's a slight, for like probably 10 seconds, there's a slight thing in both their eyes of like, do we save them, do we try to protect Raw? And then they look at each other, smile, and just go, not worth it. But the Raw went, so Seth, Dominic and Rhea being attacked, the Raw went off air with the 6 Retribution members. Obviously, we showed you the picture there. We guessed, we don't know who's better. I think it's now they are starting to be unveiled. They said, who are these 6 members of Retribution? They all stood up there. One definitely looks like Mia Yim. But it'll be very, very interesting to see. A very, not mediocre, I won't say that, but not a major episode of Raw. Not amazing. We'll just tell Simon I'm done on Raw. Just so he knows, because we're going to do pay-per-view predictions. Done with Raw, because obviously now it is the payback this Sunday. They've double booked themselves with 2 pay-per-views in a row. So let's just see if they can do it. Are you back?
Yep.
Payback predictions. Are you ready?
Yes.
Because obviously it's Sunday, we have to make predictions. Bayley and Sasha Banks versus Shayna and Nia for the Women's Tag Team Championship.
Is that happening?
Yep.
Oh, wait, what? Hang on, let me.
It's on the Wikipedia.
I'm just firing up the card.
It's on the Wikipedia. And normally they're correct.
Yeah, well, it was on Wiki. Ah, right, okay. Bayley and Sasha.
Yeah, Bayley and Sasha. Shayna and Nia are going to have beef. I think that's the easiest one to predict.
No,
Apollo Crews versus Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship match. Yeah, I know.
The big match.
Yeah, Lashley's winning this.
I hope it's the movie's favourite pose.
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember that? When Apollo Crews and Lashley were in the feud last time and they did that pose off?
The arse pose.
Lashley's favourite pose, where he just bends over and shows his arse. I love it.
What was going on in the writer's head?
It was so funny.
I'm going to leave the championship match last. Keith Lee versus Randy Orton.
It's hard when you've not watched Raw.
I'll let you. McIntyre was involved with Orton and Lee on Raw.
No, McIntyre. Keith.
I'm going Keith. True distraction, in my opinion. But you obviously have to watch Raw. Finally, the big boy, the Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns.
Now, I was thinking Roman Reigns, and I thought, will they take it off Fiend so quick? I'm going the Fiend, but by
However,
disqualification.
how
And
you can't
this match,
the triple threat?
yeah. Oh, yeah, triple threat's a it's a no holds barred. Oh, crap.
Yeah,
Roman
exactly.
then.
There's got to be a winner. That was my problem. Otherwise,
Roman.
I'd put an on finish.
Because I would have just gone Roman just doesn't stop on both of them, and the ref
Yeah,
has to end
exactly.
it. Jesus.
Yes, quite. I don't know what they do.
Oh, they've really shafted themselves here, haven't they?
Yeah, well and truly. Braun's out of the equation. Braun takes the pin regardless of who it is. Yeah, Roman wins by pinning Braun. Fiend has a grievance because he wasn't pinned.
Yeah. It's such a hard one
But you wouldn't
to predict.
take it off him, would you? After a week after, especially considering what happened last time he had the title.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're just doing the thing of they're doing what they do to Charlotte Flair, where they're being like, look, he's a 3-time Universal Champion, and it's like each reign lasted for a week.
Yeah. It'll be very interesting how they do this. Very interesting. But that's been the wrestling. Oh my Jesus. And you know what? We've done good time, so we have time for my main event question. And we've sort of addressed it a little bit, but I'm gonna I don't actually have the question written down. It's a main event though. We have there's just been an F1 announcement that they've added a lot more races. Crap, I'll do that. I'll look at that after. But my main event question: we've obviously seen Retribution now. We've seen the 6 members. Let's say you didn't see the images of all. You just know there's guaranteed 6 members. You have to have 3 men, 3 women. They can whoever you want. They don't have to be NXT. They don't have to be Raw or AEW. They could be from any company. They could be from WWE as well. They don't have to be involved in they could be in a feud. So you could have Bayley and Sasha if you want. What 3 women and 3 men do you have in this group who are running Anarchy? While you think, I've already thought of mine.
I've got
It's
two answers.
controversial.
I would
Champ.
have.
This is like fantasy book.
I'd bring back all the injured lads.
Would you?
Ember Moon, Jason Jordan.
Okay.
I
did see an image saying, "Is Jason Jordan bulked up and got taller?"
Lars Sullivan.
Oh, okay. So that's 2 men, 1 woman.
I need women, though.
You do need women.
Kavita Devi.
Okay.
Because have you seen the YouTube views that she pulls in?
Indian YouTube views, it's mental, isn't it?
Yeah. So you have Kavita Devi. Maybe like Jinder Mahal.
Okay.
Maybe Jinder. Maybe like I'd say Rizar, but the offers of pain should go back to Seth.
Yeah, they should.
And it shouldn't be Xavier Woods, nor should it be Jimmy Uso. It doesn't fit Elias, and definitely not Edge. So yeah, Ember Moon, Jason Jordan, Kavita Devi, Lars Sullivan.
1 woman, 1 man.
I wouldn't have Jinder, and then I've got to have 2 more. So I'd
1
have
man, 1 woman.
1 man, 1 woman.
You can take AEW lads if you want. Like it's fantasy booking.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez, I don't know. Ronda Rousey.
Imagine. And he's your man. Johnny Swinger.
And Johnny Swinger. Yeah, Daddy.
Mine would be Sami Callihan. He's going to pay me to say because I think Killian Dane.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'd have Killian Dane instead of the Swingman.
And Ciampa. So Ciampa, Dane, and Sami Callihan as my 3 men. And the women was the one where I'm thinking, I don't know who to go for here. I'm going to go for Nikki Cross because I still get Major Sanity vibes. So you need that wacky woman, that thing.
Yeah, but you can't have wacky woman after her being just like
no. This is fantasy.
Having the gimmick of white girl.
It's fantasy, Sam. I can do whatever I want. Jordan Grace has the muscle. and I needed one more, I'm gonna go Casey Catanzaro just for a shock. Like, but she's so sweet and innocent, and then she's hitting these big like flying moves for him. I just thought we'd go for something a bit more wacky. But this being the wrestling corner, next week it's not over. We've got Payback.
It's looking good.
It is looking good. So we've got Payback on Sunday with already a decent 4-match card. Probably going to have maybe another match announced for SmackDown. Maybe Intercontinental, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Jeff makes his first defense. You've got your regular NXT and AEW. NXT on Wednesday, AEW on Thursday. Payback on Sunday. Tonight you've got TNA, right?
Impact Emergence Night 2.
Yeah. So there's another Impact show tonight. And that'll take us next week. And then the week after, we've got All Out. So it's hefty week in wrestling.
Oh. Have you seen that the next NXT takeover is not on Survivor Series weekend?
Really? I know they were trying to do something sort of franchise by themselves.
It's on October 4th.
Ooh.
So they've got the upcoming event schedule is Payback, Clash of Champions 3 weeks later.
Get in there.
Takeover on October 4th. And then Takeover Dublin on October 25th, and then obviously WrestleMania weekend shows.
Survivor Series weekend.
So they've not actually got Survivor Series booked yet.
No.
They will, obviously.
I look forward to Survivor Series. It's one of my favourite pay-per-views. It goes Survivor Series Rumble, mate. No, Survivor Series Mania Rumble.
Be interesting to see what they do for October. That's the one I am, because they usually do Hell in a Cell and go to Saudi Arabia. Oh, they can do Hell in a Cell because they're in the Amway Centre.
Yeah, so we're probably going to get Hell in a Cell.
Oh, Hell in a Cell then, isn't it?
Which might be cool. Possibly.
It's better than going to Saudi Arabia.
I forgot to mention KO show on Raw. Alistair Black's on the KO show. Alistair Black's heel. Sorry, I know that's the... Yeah.
That's all right. Right, okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to process that. I'll watch it.
When you watch it. Say it better when you watch it. Sorry, I just realised. But Wrestling Podcast 29, Roman Reigns makes his return. What a shock on Sunday. We've got Payback next weekend. Thank you very much, Simon, for joining me.
Yes, thank you.
We managed to do a good time this week. If you hadn't heard of us, with the Sports Corner, it's not just the F1, the wrestling podcast. I'm sure we're so used to it. It's not a wrestling podcast on Tuesday. That's the whole thing. On Monday we have Tier List with KD. I'm on it next week doing football kits. I'm a kit man myself, so I love not kit man as in the job, but I love kits. So I think we're going to be ranking maybe the 20 Premier League new kits. On Tuesday, it is me and Simon with the Wrestling Corner. Every Tuesday, consistent is key with me and Simon. I don't think we've missed an episode yet. There's always something gone out on a Tuesday for wrestling. When there's been, even if there's been issues. On Wednesday, you have got the Top Corner podcast. It's coming back mid-September when football comes back. We'll be all together for that. Thursday or Friday, you will have the NFL Con. The NFL season's coming back up, and Will and Kieran will be back. I know they've on a bit of hiatus now because there's not much to talk about. But with all preseason camps coming back, we've got that. On Saturdays, we may have. I think we've got some watch-alongs coming up. If you follow at the _Top Corner on Twitter, you can have all your updates on that. And on Sunday, you will have an F1 watch-along with me. We're in Spa. We're in Belgium. We've had a week break, but we'll be back with F1. Thank you, thank you very much, Simon, for joining me.
Yeah, cool.
We'll catch you next week to see maybe, hopefully, another member of Retribution's unveiled. Fingers crossed. Peace.